Hi, I'm Kelly Norton. I'm your AZ Realty lady, and I am out here today in beautiful Surprise, Arizona. And behind me is Marley Park. But today's video is actually pros and cons of living in Surprise. So let's talk a little bit about Surprise. What is Surprise? Where is Surprise? So Surprise is about a 35 to 40 minute drive from Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. It's approximately 30 miles outside of the city center of Phoenix. And it's in what we call the Northwest Valley. So if you know where the Loop 101 and the Loop 303 in the West Valley, it kind of sits in between those freeways and also goes a bit west of the 303. Most commonly people know it for being up north by Bell Road, and then it can go all the way south even to Cactus and Peoria once you get further west of the 303.
Hi, I'm Kelly Norton, your AZ Realty lady at eXp Realty. Count on me for all things Arizona real estate.
So for those of you who don't know me, I'm known as the AZ Realty lady, and I'm a Valley native and a real estate agent here of over 20 years. And I want to share with you today the pros and cons of living in Surprise, Arizona. Now, the community that I'm going to be filming some of this in is Marley Park. So let's go ahead and start with some of the pros of living in Surprise. One of the pros is definitely going to be all of the master plan communities that Surprise has to offer. Today I'm out in Marley Park, and I have Marley Park, the main park, right behind me here. These master plan communities that Surprise has, a lot of them have community pools, fitness centers, even golf courses, big parks, and Marley Park actually has tree-lined streets that you can see here behind me, and I'll even turn the camera here, give you a feel for what some of these houses look like out here. See these tree-lined streets, aren't they beautiful? So this again is Marley Park, but out in Surprise you also have Sterling Grove, which is master plan, Surprise Farms, and I'll list a bunch of the communities here on the screen for you just to give you a feel of what's out here in Surprise as far as maybe the larger communities. Now, if you like to be outside, you can of course enjoy one of the many parks that they have out here in Surprise, but you can also go out and hike and mountain bike and run your dog, whatever you would like to do. There's tons of trails, and don't forget that the White Tank Mountains are actually really close. It's only about a 20-minute drive, maybe 30 from some parts of Surprise, but that will definitely provide you with just miles and miles of trails for you to mountain bike or hike or trail run. So another pro is definitely going to be all of the fun activities that you can do in Surprise. Great places to take your family. There's plenty of parks. I'm actually right here in Marley Park community, which has a gorgeous park just on the other side of me. I'll try and spin around here so you can take a look at this gorgeous park back here. And also you have the Wildlife World Zoo, which is out here in Surprise. So that's located off of the 303. And you also have the Surprise Community Park, which offers the aquatic center. Sorry, it's a little windy, so I feel like I'm eating my hair here. But the aquatic center, it has pickleball, all the sports courts, tennis, basketball, the community library, and a gorgeous lake. You see the ducks and all the birds, plus a wonderful play area, and it even has bathrooms there as well. And don't forget that right across the way is spring training for the Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers. So another pro is going to be all of the different school options that you have out in Surprise. So right behind me is Paradise Honors High School. And this school has some STEM programs and a lot of AP classes. So it's great that you have this option. This is out a little further west in Surprise off the 303 in that Cactus area, really close to Santa Ana Ranch, which is this neighborhood right behind me here. And also right across from Sterling Grove. There's also a Legacy Traditional Academy in the same area. And there's several charter schools within Surprise. So you also have the Imagine Prep Academy. And there's several public schools that are ranked pretty good on great schools. They get 8s and 9s. And I think Shadow Ridge High School also has a 9 rating for college readiness. So I'll go ahead and list some of the great school ratings for some of the Surprise area schools. Now, of course, in Surprise, we also have access to amazing golf courses. There's several golf courses right here in Surprise, and then within 10 to 20 minutes, you also have just a ton more golf courses. So, of course, Arizona being a super popular place to golf, especially in the spring and the fall, but you have tons of options. And so from Surprise, you could really have the pick of the litter if you would like, to just pick any golf course, just drive just a tad bit, or just have it kind of in your backyard, especially if you live in Sterling Grove. Another pro is definitely going to be the affordability and the cost of living out here in Surprise. So the affordability within the housing market, you can certainly get a little bit more home for your dollar out here in Surprise. You can still get a home in that $400,000 to $500,000 range, and there are homes that go up to $1 million as well. But you definitely do have that affordability factor out in Surprise. And you can also still buy land. And the land, you can get an acre for anywhere from, $60,000 to $120,000 and build your own home on it as well. Another pro would be crime rates. Now, I always tell people, do your own research, compare to where you currently live to make sure that you're comfortable, because what you're comfortable with and what I'm comfortable with may be different things. So according to Area Vibes, the crime rate in Surprise, Arizona is 30% lower than the national average. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple more of the cons. So another con is definitely going to be the traffic. So especially during the fall and the spring, you have a lot of snowbirds that visit the Surprise and West Valley. So you have a lot of traffic congestion. So you have to be prepared for that. Also, when you're out dining or you're grocery shopping, you have longer lines. And in restaurants, sometimes you can have 40 minutes to an hour wait, just depending on where you're going and what time of evening and what time of year you're going. So be prepared for that little busier time. Fall and spring, we definitely get the snowbirds flocking here. Another con that you might find in Surprise is going to be not kind of a lack of public transportation. So you have the buses that run around here, but as far as the Phoenix light rail system, that does not come as far out as Surprise. So just be aware of that you will not have the light rail out here in Surprise. Another con out here in Surprise is a lack of affordable housing. There's not very many apartment complexes. Majority of the apartment complexes are age restricted, 55 and up. So if you're looking to move out for your first time and you want to get an apartment and live near your family that lives in Surprise, it's going to be a little difficult to find an apartment. Now, they are trying to solve that problem and build more apartments, but right now that inventory is still pretty tight. There's not a lot of apartment choices out here in Surprise. All right, so another con is going to be it's not quite as small of a town as it used to be. A lot of people moved out here to Surprise to get away from traffic, to get away from the hustle bustle of the valley, and it has grown out here over the last 5 years. I think it's grown, I think 11 to 12% out here in Surprise. And there's a ton of new construction going on, which is, I think, a pro because it allows people to have a newer home a little further west and maybe a little more affordable than being in a community like I'm here in Marley Park. that's an established community and a little bit more expensive. So I know we were talking about the con there, but there's also a pro when you talk about the area growing, because it does give more opportunity for newer homes to be built in the area. So another con for some people is going to be the noise from Luke Air Force Base. So out here in Surprise, there are definitely planes flying over, and you can hear the jets. I love that sound. I know there's a lot of residents that really love that sound, but you know what? If you go online, you'll see a lot of people complain about it, but they knew it was here when they moved. So be aware that you will have that noise from time to time. I mean, I've been out here walking around now for a few minutes, and I've heard it twice. So it may just happen in some of these little shoots that I'm doing here. One con that some people might find is the lack of nightlife here in Surprise. You're gonna really wanna go to downtown Phoenix or Scottsdale. Grab that Airbnb if you're going to Scottsdale. It's about a 45-minute to an hour drive, depending on where in Surprise you're taking off from. But in Surprise, you're really gonna find, you have restaurants, there's some bars, there's shopping, but as far as nightlife, there's just not a lot of that. As the city grows, perhaps there's gonna be more put in, but right now it's a little bit limited. But you do have a lot of community events that are put on out here in Surprise, and those are great for all ages. So you can always go to the Surprise website and see what they have planned. There's also farmers markets. There's a lot of different events that the community has to pull everyone together. Another pro is going to be the Wildlife World Zoo, the aquarium, and the wildlife park. And this is all right here in Surprise. And just down the way from there, you have Costco. I know, totally off subject of the awesome park, but that area is really growing. There's going to be a casino going in the area. There's a Costco. There's kind of an outdoor strip mall that's being built. So Surprise is definitely growing, and it's moving a little further west and a little further south. I will go ahead and leave you with a pro and a con, and it's the weather. So I find it as a major pro. It's the middle of April, and it's about 70 degrees outside. It's sunny, it's gorgeous, but we do have some really hot months as well. So your average summer temperature, it hovers around that 100 degrees. It can go hotter and it can be cooler, but other than like 1 month during the year when we're in monsoon season, it's gonna be a dry heat, and I promise it really is a dry heat. And almost everywhere has air conditioning, so you don't really have to worry about being hot once you go in somewhere. Air conditioning. Houses, they all have air conditioning. All the movie theaters, the grocery stores, your cars, everything has air conditioning. So you might be uncomfortable for a few minutes while you're outside, but nobody really hangs outside during the middle of the day in the summer. But if you want to hike, you can do that. Everybody goes in the morning. So it's definitely a pro and a con, the weather, but I find it to be certainly more of a pro. So I hope that you enjoyed the video today. Again, I'm Kelly Norton, and I'm your AZ Realty Lady. And if I can help you with your buying or selling needs, and then maybe if you're relocating to the Phoenix area, just give me a call or text me. It's the best way to reach me. And don't forget, subscribe to the channel, comment, click the bell. There's the jets. I talked to you about that. That was a con for some. Oh, I don't know if I can catch it. I'm trying to show you. I don't know if you can see them. So anyhow, I promise I don't have enough pull to have them time that. So anyway, have a great day. And again, subscribe to the channel, click the bell. You'll be notified when I put out new videos. Have a great day.